Hello, this is Susan from Women Redefining Success, and this is Kitchen Talk. Kitchen Talk is where if you pop by, which I hope you would do sometime, you'd find my kitchen somewhere between messy and really organized, or probably somewhere in between, because that's kind of how life is, right? Usually along somewhere on that continuum. Today, I want to talk to you about this little micro shift that can really make the difference. Let's back up. So there's this really unhelpful way of thinking, a belief, if you will, that kind of says, once I look after everybody else, then I can attend to myself, attend to what I need. It kind of plays out like making sure we look after our kids and our partner and our fur creatures and our clients, our peers, our friends. Often, everyone and their needs, which we're very attuned to, go us, get on the list for us. We're really attuned. We're super calibrated to all the people, all their needs, all the things they need. Good for us. And, well, that's a good thing. The challenge is learning to bring ourselves into the mix a little. Because I think that success actually starts from us, from self, and then overflows. It's not a if, then, it's if I look after myself, if I kind of attend to my needs and I'm discerning, then my life will ripple out. Then I will be increasingly calibrated and attuned to the stuff that's really aligned with who I am. So the trick is, how do we start to kind of make this thing happen? I call it the 1% shift. What do I mean by this? Well, I was talking to this really incredible executive the other day, and she was kind of struggling to know what to do next. And I say this with a lot of compassion. I have a lot of women who come forward and they're like, I don't really know what success means, what I want. I just know that things aren't off. So I have massive kudos if you're saying a lot of I don't knows these days. So we were talking about kind of how full her life is and how attuned she is to everyone else. So I was just throwing out some numbers. I said, okay, so do you think you're like 50% of your attention is on everybody else's needs and then 50 on yourself? And she laughed and she's like, it's more like 95-5. Wow. So this is a good point for you just to check in on your own little, how much of your attention is on everybody else versus yourself. There's no right or wrong number, by the way. It's just a good thing to notice. So, whatever your number is today, whatever it's been, whatever it is now, it's 95-5, like this amazing executive who is doing all the things for everyone. Why don't you think about making its call like the 1% shift? Heck, we could even do 0.5, the 5% shift. And what is that? Get curious and say, what if I shifted that from 6 to 94? What if I brought just a little bit more awareness, attention to myself and to what I need, knowing that the 94 is still going to be there, knowing that nothing will fall apart because we've shifted our attention. But it's something just to kind of ask yourself this week as you go through your day, through your week, is just doing a little check-in. What is that split right now? Check in a meeting. Like, how much of you is on everybody else, all the attention? When you get home, how much? And just keep noticing those percentages, holding in mind the question of what would happen if I made just a 1% shift and became a little bit more connected to myself. And then if you can, ideally, you can do something about it. Check it in. Like right now, I just had this really great bowl of chili, salt, and I need some water. It can be that easy. All right, it can be super simple like that. It can be kind of paying attention to everybody's needs at dinner time and just kind of pausing and not even knowing what you need to do. It's just, okay, how am I right now? I know how everyone else is. Like, how am I? Just do that check-in. It starts really with small things like this. And here's my little tip to you is I increasingly don't put to-do list things on my list anymore. That didn't make sense. I don't put things like movement, I have to work out today on my list. I put questions. What would happen if I shifted my attention? How can I shift my attention to 1% and a little bit more to attune to what I need in this moment? How can I? And just hold that as a question during the week. How can I? And see what happens. There you go. Have a good one.